Hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Two Women,
Two Opinions.
with your girl Marty and
Taj.
First, we want to start by saying Happy Veterans Day to those who have served our country, including Sean. Thank you very much.
Yeah, love Sean. Love Sean and my mother. My mother was a veteran too.
Dang,
I'm just feeling some kind of way this morning because we running late.
My dad as
y'all
well.
was high key in the way today.
Oh, it's a parade.
There's a whole parade.
So y'all in the way. So yeah, just FYI.
I love y'all though. Thank you for
That's
your
why
service.
we're running late, but we definitely want to say thank you guys for serving. My dad was a veteran as well, and my grandfather. So yeah, it kind of run deep.
Vets in the family.
They try to get me, but I ain't go.
No, my mother did definitely ask, and I was like, hey.
Nah, it's all right. It's for those people, and I feel like thank you guys for serving, and thank you guys for giving your time to the country. But we're cool. Thank you for the offers. Anyways, if you guys know from last week, Taj did start off. We go back and forth from each week. So this week, I will go ahead and start off. We have the Cal Rittenhouse takes the stand update. Last week we talked about Illinois teenager on a murder trial. There was 2 people killed and another one wounded in a police brutality protest last year. Well, Cal Rittenhouse is now taking a stance in his own defense. And here's the clip from yesterday's court date.
Childish.
I step towards the Duramax, and as I'm stepping forward, I believe his name is now Joshua Zeminski. He steps towards me with a pistol in his hand, and as I'm walking towards to put out the fire, I drop the fire extinguisher and I take a step back.
Okay. When you step back from Mr. Zeminski, what's your plan?
My plan is to get out of that situation and go back north down Sheridan Road to where the car source lot number 2 was.
And did you get back? Were you able to go in a northerly direction?
I wasn't.
Describe what happens.
Once I take that step back, I look over my shoulder, and Mr. Rosenbaum was now running from my right side, and I was cornered from in front of me with Mr. Zeminski, and there were
Turn it off.
people right there.
Oh,
Don't let. I'm not laughing at him crying. I'm laughing at the faces that he made. Look, I'm not.
girl.
I'm not a lawyer or anything, but I know it's
Guilty.
rare.
I don't even know what all he was trying to convey. Homeboy is guilty.
God. Okay.
He looked like my child trying to force them tears out. Like, I'm upset.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm not a lawyer or anything, like I said, but I know that it is rare that they let the defendant in the murder trial take the stand. And I think this is why.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I couldn't watch it because he's young and he may have been misled. But he also old enough to know right from wrong.
Hello.
What do you think from the clip?
He should have, when they told him not to get on the stand, he should have been like, all right. All right. I respect it. Because that looks so forced. Oh, he going to jail. He guilty.
Well, we will definitely keep you guys posted with the trial. That was the update of the trial. He took the stand yesterday. It was more of a testimony, of course, when they came back from recess. So the judge ended up sending a recess because he went out with Ivers. We'll keep you guys posted on the trial. And the final thoughts are definitely to continuously keep the people that went through this tragedy in our prayers, the families that lost, because there are
Absolutely.
2 people that lost their lives and another one that's wounded. So, go ahead with your
His
bad
face.
self, Cal, and get
His
to the
face. He going to jail.
Oh, Jesus.
His facial expressions alone, the whole jury was like guilty. Absolutely.
He said,
The deliberation is gonna be real quick. They're gonna be in there about 5-10 minutes. All right. Up next, y'all know Travis Scott had his Astro Festival this past week. And of course, after the opening day, 8 people were found dead and multiple injured. And obviously there's been a lot of updates in the last like 4 or 5 days. So we all know Travis sometimes can incite really like reckless behavior during some of his concerts. In 2017, there was a fan that was hanging off the side of a balcony. He says that because of like the environment, he was pushed. So he fell 3 stories, 3 flights down. But the way that there was a clip of Travis telling him to jump. So it's very much like confusing is back and forth between what he's saying. It's just conflicting. And right now they're in litigation, so there's not too much to talk about. So we all know that Travis be up to like no good when he's on the stage. And then you got to talk about Live Nation, who are the festival's coordinators.
Right.
So they do all of like the promotion and getting security. But apparently they've been in trouble for like many, many years. There's a ton of like lawsuits against them because of multiple festivals that they've had where there's like safety protocols weren't followed, health code violations and things of that nature. So if you've seen the clips of like the Travis at this past Astro Festival, they had people jumping over gates. Then like the new updates with the Houston PD is that people were getting pricked with like drugs.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just
a
like
security guard. A security guard was pricked, and they end up finding drugs in their system.
Yeah. So it's just all kinds of craziness coming out about this concert. So if we're gonna play a little clip for you.
You all have just described Travis Scott, the festival founder. It was on stage, 9 o'clock, performing, when all of a sudden, that crowd surged. Overnight, chaos at a music festival in Houston turned deadly. Police say a crowd surge left hundreds injured, at least 17 hospitalized, and 8 people dead.
The crowd began to compress towards the front of the stage, okay? And that caused some panic.
According to police, of the 17 people hospitalized, 11 were in cardiac arrest.
We were definitely getting pushed very aggressively, and it was intense.
The incident took place at the 3rd annual Astro World Festival, headlined by Houston native Travis Scott. A live stream of the event showing Scott stopping his 75-minute performance several times when he spotted fans in distress in the crowd.
We need somebody to help him. Somebody passed out right here.
We were seeing people getting pulled out of the crowd, and we would see some of these people unconscious.
Authorities setting up a reunification center for families at a nearby hotel and still trying to identify victims, some as young as 10 years old.
So, I mean, although he has a history of poor behavior, at least he tried to do the right thing during this Astro World.
Agreed.
Like, so yay, I guess. But I mean, overall, you know, unfortunately, when you work with certain people, and he worked with Live Nation on this collaboration for this event, when you work with certain people, you're so liable for the things that go on. So right now, everybody's kind of like holding, you know, all of this on him versus everybody who's involved, right? So I feel like Live Nation should be sued, not just Travis Scott and whoever else was a part of it that didn't do their job to make sure that the safety protocols to protect these people were followed.
I agree. There was too many manpower. There was too many personnel there to not at least have someone, you know, wave. Like I'm literally walking up the stage and talking in your ear like, we need to stop the show now. I read somewhere that it was 700 regular security guards that was hired, and there was 300 police officers there.
Yeah.
So that's over 1,000 security personnel that actually have weapons and can put people down or whatever. That's crazy. It's way too many people on the floor. The DJ, the cameraman. I seen a video with the cameraman. The people was coming on the side of the stage trying to get the cameraman attention, and he ignored them. The least he could have done. Don't get me wrong. I feel like this happens to these people a lot, you know, when fans trying to get on the stage and stuff like that. But when you know it's stuff going on and if you've already seen him stop the show, the least you can do is put your ear to the crowd and see like, hey, what do you want? Like, why are you on the stage? Just to see what the hell they were coming up there for. He didn't even stop and do that. He was just waving them off like, get down. I'm doing my job. Get down. I totally agree with you. This is not a one-man thing. And he was watching over 50,000 people in the audience. It's hard to watch that many people on that platform.
And that's what I'm saying. He was on stage. There's bright lights. Like, you don't know, as much as, like, we want to blame the artist, we don't know how much he could actually see from his point of view. Like you said, he's on an extremely high platform. He's looking downward. There's a bunch of lights in his face. But I'm not here to say, like, who's right or wrong.
Right.
I'm just here to say, like, lives are lost, right? Then, you know, we know that these festivals have drugs, but somebody randomly pricking people with drugs, like, that's taking things to a whole nother extreme. Yeah, so we can't, you remember, COVID was just last year, right? So we can't have fun the way we used to, and things like this are going to keep happening.
Exactly.
Which is going to limit these type of events from happening. Like, I like Travis Scott. I'm not going to say I'm a big super fan, but I like his music.
I didn't know he had a fan base like that, honestly.
Yeah.
I learned a lot just from this one situation. He has like a Katy Perry type fan base.
He has a cult following, yeah.
But what's crazy to me is that his baby's mom and the child was there, and sister. So Kylie, Kendall, and the daughter was there at the concert the whole time. And they didn't even see any of that stuff happening. So what do you think he's seen? And he was actually the artist that was putting on a show.
Like,
I feel like it's kind of,
everybody should be held responsible,
and
especially Live Nation. He
did take care of the funerals of the 8 people and refunds to people and everything. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the blame should just be on one person.
No.
It's a lot for one person.
To me, it should be directed at Live Nation, period. Especially if they have a track record for this type of stuff. Like,
and they know how many people were supposed to be there. They said it was a lot of people. Like, everybody was like elbow to elbow. Travis didn't sell those tickets.
And why would, like, I mean, we're still technically in COVID. Why weren't we limiting the amount of people?
They want that money, girl.
See, that's why I haven't gone to a festival. Honestly, like, I'm terrified of getting sick. I'm terrified of getting harmed.
I hope this doesn't happen at the Lovers and Friends Festival next year. Because I'm looking forward to that, and whatever. Anyways, I want to see the baby tomorrow at Dre's.
Ooh.
I might go. I don't know. But I hope it's not.
Little the baby.
Little the baby.
Little the baby.
The little the baby. Now, the baby's going to be at Dre's tomorrow for his album release party. So I think that's going to be pretty freaking dope. The tickets are on sale, of course, at Dre's. But I've never paid to get in Dre's. Is that crazy? I always had a promoter get me in for free.
That's good, though.
So if I pay, it probably will be for the baby.
I wouldn't. But
I would.
I love
the baby. I want to be in there like, that's going to be them baby. But I want to dress like the baby, and I can't dress like the baby in there. Like, you can't. Like, it's the dress code.
Ooh, what?
They going to kick me out. They're not even going to let me in.
Why do you want to dress like the baby anyway?
Because.
What are we talking?
We already talked
White
about
beater?
this. When I go to the baby concert, I will be the
beater,
baby in the
big
audience.
chain.
Yes.
I can't.
My Marty chain, all that. It's happening.
Sagging pants.
I might come early. They might let me in if I get there a little
Wear
early.
them around your little booty cheek.
Anyway, Taj said, nah. Yes, Taj, it's happening.
You got to take pictures. I got to have this moment captured.
Yeah, I'm going to have my pants hang low and all that.
I can't.
Okay, never mind. Moving right along, the police accused of corruption. Listen, we know the police has been corrupting people for a long time. But this is something new. For months, they've been investigating the police seizures that they've been doing. In Mendocino County, the marijuana farmers and former police officers from Texas have filed a new federal lawsuit alleging widespread theft, corruption, and cover-ups amongst law enforcement. Official policing in Emerald Triangle, the Northern California region, will renew the cannabis grow there. It's like a whole weed land in 3 different counties, which is dope. I think I want to move there. Anyways,
let me know when you do, because I'm coming.
The lawsuit alleges hundreds of acts of extortion, theft, robbery of marijuana, guns, and cash by law enforcement officials from at least 4 separate agencies. Like, it's different police officers stealing from these marijuana corporations. Let's play the clip. These people are crazy.
And he says he found himself at the center of a bizarre crime and cover-up.
This is where we pulled off, and this is where I was robbed, right here.
He was visiting from Texas, in town on a work trip, hoping to launch his own marijuana business, when he saw flashing police lights behind him. He was being pulled over.
At what point did you get the feeling something's wrong?
within the first 30 to 60 seconds.
He says the two men identified themselves as federal agents with the ATF. One of them asked Flatten if he had any money or drugs in the car. Flatten told him he had a doctor's note for medical marijuana.
And he goes, "Oh, that gives us the right to search the vehicle." And right there, I just shut up. I knew that they don't have that right. They don't have a search warrant.
Flatten is a former cop himself and says these men didn't seem to have the right uniforms.
There was not a badge, there was not a name tag, there wasn't a patch on their shoulders. Matter of fact, there was a half circle style patch that had been removed.
What reason would a law enforcement officer have to remove the patch on their uniform?
I have no idea, other than hide their identity.
Flatten tells us the men found 3 pounds of his marijuana, then took a picture of him and his driver's license, then drove off with his weed without ever giving him a ticket.
Oh, I knew immediately that I got robbed. Now it was who did it and how are we going to uncover this.
Flatten filed complaints with the Mendocino County Sheriff's Office and District Attorney.
So
you got played. Like, what?
We all know police corruption has been going on for decades.
Right.
But legalized pot industries are fairly new to us, right? It's funny how we can sue the cop for taking our weed nowadays. You took my weed, I'm suing you because it's legal. So they took 3 pounds from him. That's crazy, right? So now it's an on investigation. They have a whole lawsuit out for the
now,
3
what if
police.
this is just regular people though? Like, what if this was just
right,
regular people?
No, so no, it's actually a cop.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a cop. He's on paid leave now.
Oh, okay.
And I just think it's wrong on so many levels that this man has earned this money, and you have to buy those licenses for the weed to carry it. You have to buy that. And they're using their titles and positions to get over. This goes to show how corrupt the cops really are. And the statement.
He on paid leave at home smoking that man weed.
Yeah, that's
right
like
now.
when they kill somebody. So yeah, he stole the weed and he's at home chilling. But now it's a lawsuit for all 3 counties. Mind you, neither one of the counties have spoken out and had any statements to say, yeah, we did it, or yeah, we did not do it. They're just like, oh, it's drugs. You guys will be okay. But no, it's legal. So you legally robbed this man. I've never seen somebody legally get robbed. Like, they robbed him, and of course
That
they're
man
home
is at home on
chiefing,
leave, smoking his weed.
So this is like and they've already had a lawsuit for over $1.2 million, and they paid it back, but they never admitted to doing it. So they've done this plenty of times before in this triangle of these 3 counties. But let's just see what happened. I'm definitely going to keep up on this. I want to know what happens with this lawsuit. Like, how do you justify taking this man weed after he showed you that he can legally have it?
You can't.
He at home getting chiefy. He like, you know what?
He at home eating Little Debbie's.
When they piss test me, they gonna know I stole this weed.
Because that's probably what they did. They got to investigate their own people. So I'm sure, like, they're going to do their investigation to see what happened, what all transpired before they actually deal with the guy in his lawsuit against the county.
Yeah, because they've already paid out. They have already paid out almost $2 million in other lawsuits. Yeah, so they know they're doing it. But it's like, okay, why pay out this money in these lawsuits? Are y'all selling the weed on the back end? Like, how y'all getting this money back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If they not selling it, they smoking it. Like, something is happening. Somebody is at home making brownies.
It definitely was a real cop, and he's not on paid leave, smoking that weed. I hope they leave him home for longer than 30 days because his system gonna be clean. Oh Lord!
I'm just gonna smoke a little bit now.
Just a little bit
later. So
I love America.
Really though. So next up, I wanted to talk about Aaron Rodgers because y'all know it's a couple weeks ago we talked about Kyrie Irving and how I was like, y'all need to just mind y'all business. Let that man, whatever he decides he wants to do with his body, is his choice. If his team supports him and they're fine with him playing, move on from it. Right? Because I feel like everybody should have a choice when it comes to this vaccine. You shouldn't be forcing people to get anything.
Right.
So Mr. Aaron Rodgers, though, okay, he gets on television back in August and says that, or he was asked directly whether or not he was vaccinated, and he said he was immunized. So only for it to come out later that he wasn't. He lied, right? So he recently just did a podcast where he didn't really sound too apologetic, and he feels like people should just allow him to be himself. and then to only turn around and test positive for COVID. Okay, he cost the Packers $300,000 in fines. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
How did he cost the Packers and he got that
Because
kind of
he
money?
wasn't vaccinated.
He should pay the fines.
He should. I'm sure something is going to take place. But honestly, at this point, he's only lost like a few of his sponsors, and State Farm is one of those sponsors that stand by him. So yeah, he's gonna keep making his money.
They gonna stick beside him.
They gonna stick beside him. So I got a clip
in
for
that
y'all.
COVID that he got.
For real. I got a clip for y'all to kind of go over what's going on in Mr. Rogers' life. First of all, his name is Roger.
The NFL fining the Green Bay Packers and star quarterback Aaron Rodgers for violating the league's COVID rules, hitting the franchise with a $300,000 penalty, and docking Rodgers and teammate Alan Lazard $14,650 each. The discipline stemming partly from this Halloween party that both unvaccinated players attended. The league adding the team failed to enforce protocols in a few instances, including Rodgers not wearing a mask during press conferences. Days after a polarizing appearance on the Pat McAfee show, Rodgers struck a different tone Tuesday afternoon, but it wasn't exactly an apologetic one.
I misled some people about my status, which I take full responsibility of, those comments. But in the end, I have to stay true to who I am.
After testing positive for COVID, Rodgers' NFL-mandated 10-day quarantine ends on Saturday, just in time for Sunday's game.
I'm an athlete, I'm not an activist.
When Rodgers was asked about his vaccination status in August, the Packers star said he was immunized.
Are you vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized.
After testing positive and admitting
He said it with no problem.
Like, come on now. He bold-faced ass lied. Like, he didn't even look directly at the camera. Yes.
And then he turned around and say, I'm an NFL player, not an activist. What the fuck they gotta do?
Child, they should have booted his ass. But you know.
His facial expressions when he did not have a mask on the press conference was like,
I just feel like his backlash is so minimal compared to the backlash with Kyrie. Like, Kyrie was getting chewed up on like every platform. I mean, I'm not saying that they tearing his ass up now, but when it first came out, it was like, you know, it was like a blip. Whereas Kyrie was everywhere and people were bashing him so hardcore because he stands on not getting the vaccine. He doesn't want to get vaccinated. So I just feel like everybody that same heat.
That's because Kyrie has a stance and Roger lied.
Right.
They take lying better than actually having a word to stand up for yourself.
That don't make no sense. I would rather you tell me the truth.
Yeah, that's the world we live in. We love America.
I would rather you tell me the truth than bold-faced ass lie.
He said, I am. And then he turned around and said, I'm not an activist.
I'm not an activist. I don't want that clout. But
he still ain't wearing no mask.
Still ain't
He's
wearing
just infecting people. he don't care. He gonna attack you and give you COVID. What's T? I can't take it. The world we live in, we love America, by the way. We're gonna go into
on certain days. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm a black woman in America.
Between him and Kyle Rittenhouse testimony and his press conferences, we should make that like a meme to go together because they kind of stand together right now at this point.
Bold-faced ass line.
Anyways, moving right along, guys. It's now the halftime break. We had to go a little bit over because we started a little bit late, but we are going to go in the halftime break. On the halftime break, we do a small business shout out. So if you have a small business and you want it to be shout out, please send it to any of our inboxes, and we are definitely a shout it out on every show. Also, we play a local artist song, and
it was your turn this week. It was mine.
I don't know no local artist.
You were gonna bring one on here. I thought you had it this week.
Oh no, his brother just passed away. So that was the personal
I thought that
thing.
was your local artist. That the song you were gonna bring.
I'm
looking like I went last week. What you mean? No song this week, y'all. We can do a little doo-wop right now.
You want to sing together?
I got you.
I mean, no. I'm sure our producer know a local artist that he can play. I mean, it's like when you over here cracking up at us this whole time, you can play a song. Anyways, while he get the song together, we'll go ahead and do the small business shout out. Of course he does. Okay, so we're going to start a small business shout out. Of course, we're where we're at today. Vegas Hype Media is like a family to us now. We love it here. We'll be here each and every Thursday. Make sure you guys are liking the page that you're watching it live on. Please.
Please.
Thank you very much. Second in line, we have me, your girl, Marty. Famous Gems with a Z. You can find our product at Famous Gems with a Z on Instagram or www.famousgems.net. Next, we have Transcend Jewelry. You can find that on Instagram as well or www.transcend.com. Next, we have Taj.
My business, Wild Bartending. If you need bartending services, you can find me on or any platform at Taj Wild or on Facebook at Taj Wilder, and that's just an ER on the end of wild. Wilder.
Next we have kconnect.com. That's K and connect is spelled with a K as well, .com. They do business services and different stuff to help you get your business off the ground. So definitely look into that. And then next we have, which is my sister new business coming up. It's like a coming soon business. It's Creative Hands and Minds. They're going to make different stuff that you like, such as ashtrays, lash holders, all that good resin stuff. So make sure you go ahead and look into it. If you go on my page, I'm always going to share it. So you'll find it there once they release their product. Right now they're working on prototypes. So once I get my prototype, I'll upload it so y'all can see what she's working with. Then we'll go from there. Now we got a song from.
He's like, I ain't got it.
Oh, shoot. We love America.
Hey, the beat slapped.
The beat is slap, though. I could have freestyled off of this.
You know, this video on YouTube has more thumbs down than thumbs up. 20,000 K thumbs down, 15,000 thumbs up.
Oh my gosh. They really don't like them little ugly motherfuckers. Have you ever seen them? They look like two characters. They like two little tree stumps. Am I lying? Because they some island boys.
Oh, wait, those are the dudes that they keep comparing to Zach and Cody.
Nah, you got Zach and Cody messed up now. Hold on.
Hey,
Zach and Cody
meme.
look way better than them.
That's the meme right now.
Anyways, that was our song request. So, I am an island boy.
This is all I got.
This all I got for y'all right now. But anyways, that was my flaw. The artist that I was bringing, he is an Afrobeats artist. He will be here soon. But he had a severe death in the family. So, and it was at the last minute that he was able to let me know. So he was back in Cincinnati and stuff, taking care of his brother. His brother's actually a veteran. So that's crazy because happy Veterans Day. But we will get King Moolah in here so that way he can play his own music. Because I ain't got that either.
I can't play with
Anyways, moving right along. A suspect was followed home. Now, we talk about many women being followed home, right? But here was a man. He was followed home by 4 men at gunpoint. Roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
I like saying that. They look like Simpsons characters.
Now, what police say is that a man was coming home. It appeared he had been followed by a silver Jeep Cherokee with 4 men inside. At least one had a gun, and there was an attempted robbery, but it does not appear any shots were fired here. Now, police say that when the suspects left, the victim jumped back in his vehicle. He tried to follow them. He wasn't able to catch up with them, but he was able to flag down a CHP officer and let them know what had happened. Just a few days ago, LAPD had put out a warning about these kinds of crimes and an increase that they were seeing. Here's what they said about that.
You can cut it. So they camera had messed up right here, which is funny for the news. But they were basically saying like, you know, these types of crime will increase right now during this time of year. You know, the holidays and stuff are coming up. So just take a look out. And right now it kind of shook me, you know, stories stand out to me for certain reasons. And because we spoke about 2 other stories where ladies being followed home or the man knocking on the lady door, it kind of stood out to me that it was a man. And his girlfriend was there too as well. So I don't think it was a smart idea for him to follow them. But as he was trying to follow them, he couldn't catch them. So he found a police officer. And the police officers are basically just saying, you know, be cautious, stay on guard because it is closer to the holidays. So people will be breaking into cars and breaking into homes because.
And Sherman Oaks too.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? So if you think Sherman Oaks, if they can get Sherman Oaks, they can get you on Nellis Syndicate. It's like just
Not
name-
Nellis
just
Syndicate.
name-
I mean, So next up, y'all, I went and saw the Eternals. Was it last week? Yeah,
The
I think
who?
it was, the Eternals.
Oh, I seen
Girl,
the
it was so
previews.
dope. So yeah, I want to play the clip and then I'm gonna tell y'all how I enjoyed it.
Is this when you went to the drive-thru without me? Oh,
To the drive-in. Yeah.
We're Eternals. We came here 7,000 years ago to protect humans from the deviants.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos? Or any war, all the other terrible things throughout history?
We were instructed not to interfere in any human conflicts unless deviants are involved.
I had the same question. I was like, how y'all just gonna leave the world to the Avengers and y'all could literally pull up and take Thanos down? I was highly upset. I felt where his question was coming from. But like overall, I enjoyed the movie. I felt like it was a bit rushed. I did. That's a real thing. Like, why didn't y'all pull up? Y'all had y'all powers.
wait, you
Y'all
said they did what? They left what to who?
Thanos. Have you not seen?
Girl, quit playing with me all the
Endgame?
time.
You haven't
You
seen
said they
Endgame?
left the world to who? Somebody?
Thanos. To the Avengers, yeah.
Okay, girl.
Girl, don't.
Wakanda forever.
I can't believe you. Anyway, so I felt that question, but overall, I really did enjoy the movie. I definitely felt like they rushed it. It was a little cheesier than I would have liked for a Marvel movie, but overall, it was a decent movie.
That's good.
Yeah, it was straight.
I didn't watch a movie, but I did watch something. I finished Shameless.
You finished Shameless?
Spoiler alert, Frank died.
I don't know who that is.
Oh,
I'm
so
sorry.
if you watch
Dad.
Shameless, yeah. Spoiler alert, Frank died on the last episode. It was so sad. That was my favorite character, even though he was a terrible person. Like,
I can't.
He was a terrible person to his kids and everyone around him. But Frank, he made the show. And I thought when he wrote a letter to his family, I thought it was going to be sentimental. He basically was telling them like, yeah, I never liked y'all anyway.
Stop it.
Legendary Frank. I love it.
I finished Squid Games.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I finished that. Highly. Yeah, that's a lot, y'all.
So how
That's
much do
a
you
lot.
like the old man now?
I mean, I still feel the same way I felt about him at the beginning.
He was a snake.
He was a snake. He gave weird vibes from the jump, especially when he pulled up to homeboy at the middle of that little shop.
Yeah.
When they were sitting there eating this. Oh yeah, come on now.
He's a weirdo. And I feel like the fact that he played that part so well is kind of creepy. And I seen another clip where he wasn't chained to the chains when they was doing the tug of war. Not you had all this planned out and you had all this skill from playing tug of war back in the day. Did you really play tug of war as a kid? I don't
He's
trust
probably
nothing
been
that old
doing
man-
that mess for eons, like for the longest. He's probably been doing Squid Games or that method forever.
Well, hell, he about to die now. So
I mean, he is dead. He
Well,
died.
yeah.
Yeah, and then homeboy cutting his hair off and then dyeing it red. I was like, why? Why?
Why she? I need to choose your co-host wisely. No, for real. I'm glad you was able to finish it.
Yeah,
Though.
I
It was
finished
really
it.
good, right?
It was good.
I think it's gonna be a part 2.
I don't think they should. If
You
it was
don't think
causing
so?
that man that much stress, he shouldn't do a part 2. Just
I don't know if they do it.
we
I'm gonna
enjoyed
watch
the
it
first
for
one.
sure.
Ah, that was really intense.
Yeah, it was intense. The first episode was like, hurry up. But then all the way through to the end, it was like, wow.
Well,
but like I said, did you think towards the end that everyone was going to have to die?
No.
Thank
When
you.
it initially started, I thought, okay, so at least a handful of them will walk out alive with some kind of paper.
They go split it.
Yeah, no. And then, oh girl, when they were on the panels, the glass panels hopping from thing to thing.
Yeah.
And girl got cut. I was like, oh, now she dying. G.
Nah, the
Now
other
she
lady
dying.
that jumped off with oh boy.
Oh yeah.
That was the best scene.
Oh yeah.
But she was nuts. She was really nuts. But I like her though. And I like the part when she didn't have to go play that one game.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was unnumbered and they thought they killed her. She came back and she was just sitting on the bed. I said,
Chilling.
Classic. But she just
Mm-mm.
talked too much. That's all her problem was.
No, you probably lose your mind in places like that. That's why she took him out the way she did.
Yeah, I can agree with that though. I really can. She definitely took her. She was crazy.
She was crazy.
She had cigarettes though, so she should have been all right. Anyways, moving, Moving right along, we have the gag of the week. So last week we talked about a little girl that was kidnapped and abducted from her family for 18 days and returned. Well, not returned. They kind of found her with the suspect and now he's under arrest. But this gag of the week is a 105-year-old lady. This lady set a world record at the Louisiana Senior Games and she could not see farther than a foot. Play the clip. This funny though.
Well, David, we've been waiting a long time on you.
Well, have you ever wanted to be a world
Listen
record
to
holder?
her.
Not particularly.
No. Are you impressed by it?
No, not particularly. I had too many other wonderful things before this. This is just a drop in the bucket.
She grew up in the 1920s. When
She said, he said, did you ever? No. Why not? Because I had other things going on in my life, sir.
Okay, go ahead. What's her name?
105-year-old lady.
We're going to call her Mildred. Mildred.
Julia Hawkins, to get her name right, to respect the 105-year-old lady.
Julia Hawkins. I actually got it right here. I'm just messing with Todd.
I was about to give her
We
her own
kids
name.
today. Yeah, she gonna call her Mildred. Like
she looked like a Mildred.
Miss Hawkins, she said she stayed in shape. The way she stayed in shape is she jogged a mile every day. Child, I don't even do that, okay? Kudos to Granny. She told the man that it was a drop in the bucket. She finished in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And that's how she set the world record. I just wanted you to play that clip. I was going to talk about it anyways because it's an amazing story, but I wanted you to play the clip because she was so humble. She was like, it was cool. I did that. Thank you. We've been waiting on you all day though, because you're supposed to be here at noon and it's 2:30. She was checking him at the door. And I just like her spirit, like her family. They are the video that I played with him, it was like 5 minutes long, but it's basically her family saying that she never planned for this. She just did it because she wanted to. And she feel good about it, but she kind of like, I did it. Thank you. Next world record. I like her.
To do. I have a bucket list. I ain't worried about this one part.
Right. She was
One
like,
moment.
this little thing, like, I got all these kids, grandkids, this and that and third. This was nothing. But you're setting world records in 2021. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's dope.
At the age of 105. So shout out to
She
you.
has seen some life.
Yeah, she's seen some life.
105. We could all be so blessed.
Me being 105. I wouldn't be setting world records though.
No, you probably be on the porch cussing people out.
I'm talking about get off my lawn. That's me for sure. Anyways, we do want to close out today by saying again, Happy Veterans Day to Todd's mother, to my father, my wife, Sean. Happy Veterans Day, guys. And you know, as all we do every Thursday, we're going to close out the story just in case you guys wasn't here when we first started. We're going to go ahead and wrap up each story that we talk about with our conclusions. We started by talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. He took the stand yesterday because he's on trial for murder of 2 people during a police brutality protest last year. I don't remember the video that we watched. It's like, I do.
Okay.
He cried. He cried really bad. So they had to stop the court date and they went to recess for 15 minutes and came back and he cried again. So I didn't watch the rest of it. So we're going to keep you guys posted as far as what charges he get because they said the trial should last for 2 weeks. So this will be 1 of 2 weeks. Next week should be 2. What else we talking about?
Our next story was about Mr. Travis Scott and his Astro World Festival. Some of you may know that 8 people were found dead and we had multiple injuries. Along with some further investigation, there were people that were getting pricked with random drugs. We just talked a little bit about how I personally feel like things could definitely be done better. If Travis knows that a lot of his concerts can incite those kind of environments, mosh pits and all that stuff, then, you got to do your due diligence, right?
Agree.
Limit how many people can come to your festival. Yes, I get we all about that bread, but people's lives were lost now this time around. Next time it could be worse. I mean, that's if anybody will mess with him, because at this point, as a promoter, I wouldn't touch you. You're a liability. So
I agree. And I agree with you when you first talked about the story that all the blame couldn't be on Travis.
No,
It's a lot more hands that was in the pot. So I feel like once it is handled, it would be an exposure of who was really involved and everything. But right now, we just want to keep the families in our prayers and thank Travis for taking care of their funerals and stuff like that, just to
Absolutely.
put a little ease on the family's hearts.
Travis, I need you to do like how Beyonce does. She's involved in everything. I need you to be involved in everything going forward.
Yeah, just make sure nothing go wrong at your concerts anymore. That's kind of messed up. Next we talk about police being accused of corruption again. So they stole 3 pounds of weed from this man, and many other pounds of money and cash and guns from other people that was legally able to carry the weed. So now there is a lawsuit investigation in California, Northern California, for this corruption. And I definitely want to keep you posted because I want to know if the officer get charged, because right now he's just on paid leave smoking his weed.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope he get charged too, because it's kind of messed up.
This sets a tone for other police officers out here trying to scam people out of weed.
Don't be taking people weed. But it's like I said, it's just funny because, you know, before weed was even, because it's not really legalized. I mean, if you do your research, it's decriminalized. So before it was even decriminalized, they can take our weed and we never knew what they did with it. Now they can take your weed and you can sue them for taking it. God is good. America is
I'm
great.
not gonna play with her. She
God
could
bless
be out here
America.
watch. Don't let her get pulled over and they take her little bit of weed. She is not licensed to carry. Like,
don't take my little
She's still
weed.
gonna try to sue. Yeah.
I'm suing the heck out of them. God bless America.
Our next story was about Mr. Aaron Rodgers, who got on national television and lied to the public, or the general public anyway, and told them that he was vaccinated. Comes to find out he is not, and to be honest with you, I don't think he cares too much that he has had. He's cost the Packers $300,000. So,
well, if that's the case, I'm vaccinated too. I can't lie because I ain't rich.
No, you can't lie. No.
No, I just feel like it's messed up. And now that he have to be honest, he want to be funny and say, "Oh, I'm not an activist. I'm an NFL player." It doesn't matter who you are. You lied to the public, and now you have to suffer the consequences. Just like you said, Kyrie Irving. Yeah.
Irving.
So just like he did, I feel like you have to suffer the consequences, and they should dog you out.
They should. Oh yeah, they definitely tearing that.
It's
ass
just funny
up
because
now.
his face was like, "Yeah, I ain't wearing no mask. What's a mask?"
Oh yeah, he seemed a little slow.
He probably coughing on people and shit.
Seem a little slow. He don't seem like it's all together. Now he coughing on people, and he was he tested
And
positive.
he tested positive for COVID. Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, he don't care.
I
He's like,
wonder if they're gonna.
I'm just here to play football.
I mean, so I wonder if they're actually going to make him get vaccinated, because it's been
They
mandatory in
can't
a lot
make
of.
anybody do anything.
Well, mandatory.
They can make it mandatory. And they can bench
would
him
they make
for
him?
not
It'd be
getting
funny as
vaccinated.
hell because he get off with the leave Saturday. It'd be funny as hell on Sunday. They said, "Well, it's mandatory to be vaccinated for you, you liar."
Just you alone. It's in your contract now. The one you signed already. Yes.
Oh, he gonna have a lawsuit for sure. Forget the weed people. He go win that lawsuit for sure. Next thing we talked about was the suspect being followed home. This time it was a man. It's kind of creepy. No matter if it's a man, woman, or whatever the gender may be, following someone home, trying to rob them, it's just outrageous. And now the police officers are basically saying these types of crimes will increase during this time of year because the holidays are coming up, which is true. I would hate for someone to work really hard throughout the whole year and then just get robbed right before they give the presents and gifts or whatever to their family.
Man. Yeah, watch your
It's
step and
called
lock your
jail,
doors.
Jail.
So after that, I just went and saw the Eternals, y'all. I wouldn't go spend that regular 20 some odd dollars on the movie, but I went to the drive-in and it's only $8, so I was like, why not? I got to bring my own snacks and, enjoy the movie by myself and not have to worry about catching COVID. So
Oh, from Rogers or
no, from the movie theaters. So yeah, I would definitely say it's a must-see. But as far as like the franchise Marvel goes, it's definitely not one of the top ranked movies. Nah.
You want to see it? Would you see it twice?
I would see it twice with the kids, yeah, but I wouldn't pay to see it again, no. But if it was like out on demand or, once Disney drops it on the app, yeah, I'll watch it with the kids. I wouldn't mind watching it a second time. It's not a horrible movie. it's just cheesy in parts. And again, I felt rushed. It didn't feel like they took their time like the bigger Marvel movies.
Oh, I understand.
And I feel like this one could have been bigger had they had done it right. So
definitely understand. And we had the gag of the week, Gretchen.
That is not that woman's name.
I'm just playing. A 105-year-old lady set the world record in the Louisiana Senior Games. She finished it in 1 minute and 3 seconds. I feel like she's pretty dope. Like, she was just like, yeah, I'm humble about it. You know, I did that. Next. That was a bucket list. Next. And that's how I want to be when I get 105. Even though I feel like that's
Marty
too
gonna be
long.
crazy.
I feel like that's way too long to live. That's just my opinion. But anyway,
Sean gonna have to have her committed.
I just feel like that's dope. Like, that's something she knocked off on her bucket list, and on top of that, she was just humble about it. So I feel like she like, what's next? I wonder what she gonna do next. I feel like we gonna see her again.
She gonna be in a stamp licking competition. She is old.
I don't think scratch that. Oh, this live. Anyways, guys, please, if you haven't already, please, we beg of you, like the Vegas Hype Media Facebook page. You can also watch the show each and every Thursday on VegasHypeMedia.com as well. You can find me at famousgemz with a Z, also at 2 Women 2 Opinion, and you can find Taj Wild
at Taj Wild on all platforms. Unless you're on Facebook, then it's Taj Wilder.
We kind of like y'all. Psych, we love you guys, and we will hope to see you guys next week again. And this episode, I'm sorry, guys. Let me say this before we leave. I'm sorry about the episodes on YouTube. Our producer is going to explain to me how to get this stuff up, if he can. I'm just asking because, if he can explain to me how to get this stuff, because I've been doing it. I got 9 of them up there. I just don't know what happened right now. So I will have this stuff on YouTube, guys. I promise. I'm so sorry for keeping it home so long. That's why y'all should come and watch the show.